Today's episode is one that a member of the community, Stella Kitsune 874, has been waiting for a while. Possibly May. I apologise for the long wait, but I finally put together a video around some of the characters from Made in Abyss. I've recently started watching this series, and I have to say, I'm really enjoying it, and I highly recommend it. With that said, it's been a while since we've done a variety episode on the channel. Without further ado, let's bring these illustrations to life.
I don't think we've been on an adventure without Dino Claw before. I mean, we've had these adventures when all of us have been together, but I don't think it's just been the three of us.
Aye, Nixon, I think you might be right. Though Dino lad isn't a bad fella, and has been handy in a pinch from time to time.
Suppose you're right. But either way, I can't say I'm really missing him while we wait here in this abyss. Demonica, what do you think? Is there anything to this curse of the abyss that was mentioned?
Well, Nixon, darling, I don't think you should worry about anything like a curse. From this place, after all, I'm not worried about it.
Wouldn't that be because you're a demon, and not many curses or hexes can affect demons as strong as you?
Anfal does have a point. Oh well, I guess there's nothing we can do about it for now. Just gotta keep an eye out for this curse, whatever it might be. I guess we should compare notes on what's happened so far.
Oh, you mean about the beast I encountered here? Don't get me wrong, there's many a beast, but this one seemed out of place on that fourth layer of this abyss place. Though, by the sounds of things, I think the pair of you also encountered a beast on your way down to this. What was it? The seventh layer?
I have to say, I did encounter a rather interesting demon-type creature on the last floor. Other than that wonderful specimen, the rest were a little bit cute.
Well, I guess we should compare notes. As it seems, when we got teleported here, we were sent to different layers of this place. Not sure why the Department of Multiversal Matters decided to do that, but anyway, I ran into something rather interesting. Not sure how out of place it is, considering the layer we're on now. Before the third layer, it seemed pretty out of place. Still a bit annoyed you both got sent to the lower layers, and next I'm here, the best Mech Armor specialist and interdimensional explorer extraordinaire, got sent to the top parts of the abyss, the furthest away from our meeting point on this, the seventh layer.
You sound a wee bit sore there, Nixon lad.
Maybe just a tad, but what is we were meant to be doing to make sure we kept safe and avoided this curse thing? Oh yeah, that's it. We can't go back up the levels, can we? The deeper we go into this abyss, the worse the effects are when we make a climb back up. Well, with that said, Demonica, you went up a layer or two and you seem fine.
Well, I am a demon after all.
Told you, lad. But I'm curious what manner of beastie you came across.
Oh yeah, I came across this crazy looking thing. It looked like it could have been one of my mech armors. Although this thing was a little bit on the unpolished side, this mech armor has a couple of nice abilities that I think I can make use of one of mine in the future. I saw this thing fighting what looked like a giant floating red thing with a giant mouth that opens wide as heck. Two great big bloody fangs were in the roof of its mouth. As for the eyes, well, I think there was an eye, I'm not sure. There was some on the top of his head that resembled an eye. But there were two antenna-like things coming out from just above the mouth. Maybe it's blind, but it's just a big flying crimson worm that looks and acts like he wants to eat everything in its path. This worm thing was dealing with one rather well-equipped mech, or mechanical creature. I like to think it's a mech, so we'll go with that. The arms on this thing could extend out. They had a good range, reaching about 40 meters or so. This thing also had some fancy moves, and was hella durable. While it was fighting this crimson worm thing, it got thrown into the petrified trees on the cliff or whatever. Didn't even leave a scratch. This thing was as tough as one of my mech armors, that's for sure.
You sure you didn't give one of your mech armors to the folks that delve into the depths of this abyss place, lad?
I'm sure, despite being some form of mech armor, it's definitely not one of my beautiful creations.
You don't suppose it's from that other mech fella, do you, Nixon lad? That sharp fella.
Don't think so. But it's a little bit too shabby to be one of those that I've seen him make. Still, not as good as mine, better than this mech armor thing. Anyway, I was watching this battle when that floating worm thing decided to head my way. Not that I was worried, I do have my latest mech armor prototype with me to use on a moment's notice. But just as I was about to activate my armor, a rather large and flashy blast came from across where this mech thing was. It completely incinerated the thing. Well, it incinerated the part it hit. It blew its head off at least. The top part of the head, clean above the mouth. This thing seemed to completely erase the part that I hit.
I'd have loved to fight this armor fella. Sounds like fun. But that beastie, evil would do.
I think there's a bit of a flaw with it though. After firing that high-powered beam, a pattern decreased in size and the thing just stood there. I wanted to see what was going on, so I waited for a bit. Even went up to it and scanned the thing. Not sure what material it's made from, but I'm hoping to find some of it while we're in the depths of this place.
It let you get close enough to perform one of those scan thingies?
Well, this thing just froze in place. Not sure what's going on, but after about almost 2 hours, I left and headed down here. I think at about the 2-hour mark, or just after, I looked about, but this thing was gone. No idea where this thing went, but a 2-hour recharge from a single blast definitely isn't something I'd have on one of my finely crafted armors. So, that's what happened when I encountered that on the 3rd layer. Have to say, the rest of the layer was rather peaceful in comparison. What about you, Erenfold? What did you encounter, seeing as you landed on, what layer was it?
'Twas the 4th layer, Nexum, and I'd be guessing that you had a fine trip through that layer when you made it that far, since I took care of the beastie I came across. 'Twas a fine beast at that, and one that was far more interesting. As soon as I saw this magnificent creature, my heart skipped a beat or two, as my bones and all joints began to ache with excitement.
Sounds like you fell in love at first sight with this thing. You didn't fall in love with it, did you, Erenfold? I mean, I know I did with a certain temptress the minute I saw her, but Erenfold, you didn't, did you?
What you on about, lad? Thought you knew me well enough by now to know that the only love I have with any beastie is the love of battling them, and this beautiful beast was one that I'd never seen before. It was like a dream come true, finding a creature to test my skills against, and this one definitely gave me a fine battle.
I assume you slayed it, since you're here with us.
This thing was a new type of dragon, and as you both should know by now, I love fighting me a dragon or two. However, this was not like a normal dragon. Oh no, this fine beast had 3 crimson gems on its head, with a white furry mane. As for the rest of its body and its head, it was more like a tan-like hide. Unlike most dragons and such, this one had 4 arms on the upper body, each with more whitish fur and 3 large crimson claws. And as if that wasn't grand enough, this one has 5 tails. 5 tails! At most, I've only ever seen 2 tails on a dragon, but 5. Well, when I saw that, I was overjoyed.
You're starting to sound like a kid in a candy shop.
Aye, lad, felt like 'twas a present from the heavens, and let me tell you, this beastie was a fine opponent for good old Erenfold here. In fact, this was one of the most agile and flexible dragons I've fought. It was like its spine was made of jelly and could twist and turn at any angle. As if that wasn't exciting enough, the strength of this dragon with the 6 legs and all was nothing short of impressive. This one also has a fine ability to move about in the air in a ghostly manner. As you might have guessed, this one was a bit of a challenge since it could fly, but thanks to the layers having a few cavernous areas, the battle was a wee bit less advantageous for the dragon, though the battle did take longer than I thought it would.
It's not like you to struggle against the dragon, Erenfold.
Well, you see, lass, this dragon was just playing around with me at one point. I cut off an arm, not to mention trapped its 5 tails with a spear, piercing through them, and was about to pierce its heart with my blade. That was until it lunged forward onto my blade.
It did what?
I know, lad. I thought the beast had decided that it had no hope and wanted to die on its own terms.
What a strong will.
It was a strong something. So it drove your blade into its own heart, ending the battle and dying there and then. That's a bit disappointing for a battle junkie like you, isn't it?
Aye, lad. At that moment, my heart did sink a little, and it was the worst outcome from a fighter such as myself. Don't get me wrong, 'tis a fine way to end it, but I had the feeling this beast was far more powerful than what I had battled. As it lay there, still and motionless, I turned round and started to head towards the lower layers. Though, what happened next? gave me a sense of joy and excitement through my bones, while it made my blood begin to boil.
Don't tell me, you found another one. Another one of those dragons, or another beast to fight with.
'Twas far better than that. As I was walking away, I heard a noise from where the beast lay slain. Well, I thought it was slain. Looks like it's able to heal itself. After it pulled out the blade and spear and all, its wounds healed, being good as new. Couldn't believe my luck. I could go a few more rounds with this rather resilient creature. Also, it meant I didn't have to hold back so much, since this thing could heal from fatal wounds. 'Twas at that point the real battle began.
So, this thing had some kind of hyper-regeneration ability. That sounds like a bit of a problem in a fight. I mean, how are you meant to defeat a thing like that? Wait, I know. It can't regenerate consistently, so you wore it down, and you slayed it.
Well, that wasn't the case, and I'm afraid its healing seemed to know no bounds. That was until I sliced its arm off just past a strange set of symbol markings on the side of some of those stone trees. And to my surprise, it didn't grow back until it was back on the other side. Because at this point, old Erenfold here realised that this creature could only heal around that area, or areas with those markings.
So, there was a limit to its healing. That's handy to know. But does that mean you couldn't slay the beast?
Well, I did jump back to the side it was on, and I battled it some more until nothing was left, other than a very mutilated and dismembered mess on the floor. However, it was healing a bit slower than when a battle started. Maybe I did a wee bit too much damage to the dragon. I left it there, technically slain, and I decided to continue with the mission to meet up with the pair of you. After all, a mission's a mission. Can't spend all day fighting a near immortal beast. Was the best workout for me old bones in a long while, though.
So, there's near immortal or immortal beasts in this abyss. That's good to know. Well, not so much good, unless you're Erenfold looking for a fight. But it does mean that we need to be wary of what seems to be immortal, or hard to finish off if we want to survive these lower layers.
Aye, lad, but just leave 'em to me. I'll be sure to find a way to slay 'em. Or at the very least, leave 'em in a sorry state, so they don't pose a threat to us anymore. But I am curious. Next time, lad, you came across a Mech Armor. Myself, 'twas a mighty beast. Does that mean demonic, lass? Yours was some sort of demon by chance?
I was hoping you'd figure that out. I did come across a wondrous and incredible demonic creature on the lair I arrived on. This was the perfect blend of a humanoid rabbit-like demon with a kind of living creature on its head as a hat or helmet. Despite these features, it has a long, sturdy tail.
A demonic humanoid rabbit-like creature? You're having a laugh, aren't you, Demonica? That doesn't sound much like a demon. Let me guess, it had no eyes?
Nixon, darling, will you stop being a moron for a moment and listen to what I have to say? I did listen to you without interrupting, didn't I, dear?
Yes, Demonica, you did.
Nixon, lad, 'tis quite a sight to see you with your tail between your legs.
Don't know what you mean, Erenfold. Besides, shh. Demonica wants to continue her tale.
It is quite a funny sight, isn't it, Erenfold?
Demonica, not you as well.
Oh, grow a pair, Nixon, darling. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. So this demonic creature had a variety of animal traits, mainly a rabbit with long ears, but did have a cat-like mouth and fangs. It would have made a great pet.
A pet?
Shh.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, a pet. This creature was quite fast and seemed to have extensive or instinctual knowledge of the abyss and the lairs it has visited. It also seems that this demon was once a human, but the curse of this abyss had altered its form. Wonderfully, this one survived, coming back up from the depths.
'Twas a human, you say? Does this mean all these beasties could be humans affected by the curse of this abyss place, then, lass?
I'm not sure all of them are, but a large amount of the more powerful ones seem to be, especially those from the lower layers that have travelled back up and survived the curse. Once transformed, the curse no longer affects them, although this one This demonic creature was suffering from pain and torment. This poor creature had been driven almost insane when their friend was also taken down and back up with them. The curse on their friend, however, was vastly different. The more it healed from being injured, the more deformed and inhuman it became. Seeing its friend in that state drove it to the edge of sanity, resulting in a rather clever and knowledgeable demonic creature that I encountered. I did notice this thing knew what to and what not to eat on the 4th and 5th layers. Also, if something is able to heal or help heal injuries.
How'd you know this, lass?
Well, since it was a demon, I'm able to know about it in depth just by being near it. But also, I decided to test a theory after observing it, and I injured its arm. Just slightly, but it went for some herbs and applied them. Moments later, the wound had healed. I then noticed this thing tracking me as I was heading deeper into the abyss. It kept its distance, but I could tell that it was a skilled and advanced tracker, stalking where I went even after flying ahead before slowing down my pace several times. It was rather fun to play with this creature. It's been a while since I've had a pet to play with.
Sounds more like a crazed animal following you to eat you as its prey, if you ask me.
Maybe so, but after a while I thought it would be best to deal with this creature, as we had a task to accomplish. Despite that, I think I might have to come back here to find some more pets to play with.
First off, a big thank you to Stella Kitsune 874 for suggesting Made in Abyss. I'm really enjoying watching the anime and had a lot of fun turning some of the characters into counterparts for our narrator's specialist areas. And I hope you all enjoyed a bit of a banter episode on this one. If you want to see more Made in Abyss content on the channel, be sure to hit the like button. I'm really interested in see what other things you think we should do with the characters. Should we do a part 2 and do another variety episode? Or should we do something different with them and turn them into maybe demons or venomize them or make them SCPs? I'm interested to hear your thoughts, so be sure to let me know. If you like this video and want to see other banter or variety episodes, we've got the time all our narrators first met in Enter the Splatverse. Or how about the Campfire Tales, a video where our narrators told some spooky stories. That's it for today. Hope you all enjoyed this Made in Abyss variety episode, and I'll see you all on Monday.